But let us continue today. I put up, you can look on YouTube, the Haftorah for this week's from Hosea. Beautiful Haftorah, but we did that last year, so I just republished it. I put it up so you can look on our YouTube and you can see that it's right there accessible as though I said it today. So let's continue so that we'll be able to finish this by Shabbat. Beautiful speech that the Rebbe gave in 1991, the end of 1991, Tavshin Nun Beit, and it's talking about Yaakov. Yaakov, who is, of course, becomes Yisrael, and the Jewish people all come from Yaakov. What exactly he did in order to prepare the world for the revelation of godliness that Judaism was chosen to bring. Okay, so we go. The Tachlis of Torah, the whole purpose of Torah and the commandments in general, the Torah and the commandments generally is to join spiritual and physical. What does that mean, spiritual and physical? Spiritual, there's no end, right? There's no end. The highest levels of spiritual. In fact, even the Creator himself, we can say that the Creator is spiritual because he's not physical, but really the Creator creates also the spiritual. So take all of these levels, which are non-physical, the soul, the life, the source, the meaning of the world, and to put it into the world. Because the main thing is to be in the world, right? Like if a person, goes into an operation and the doctor comes out and he says, well, his soul is healthy. He says, what about his body? Oh, it's just a complete, you'll have to bury the body. But that's not what we wanted. That's not what we hired you for, doctor. That's to heal Uncle Joe, right? Uncle Joe was sick. And says Uncle Joe was okay. I mean, the spiritual part of him was okay, but the physical part, I'm sorry, you're just going to have to throw it away. Well, that's not life. That's ridiculous. The same thing is the whole world. The world is only healthy when you can see the spiritual reason for the creation in the creation. So that's the job of the Torah. The Torah is supposed to reveal the reason God is creating everything, to reveal that in the creation itself. The hitchazkut odioter, and it's strengthened even more by means of Chassidut. We did this in the morning. I'm just doing it over this little part. The whole thing of Chassidut, especially Chassidut Chabad, is to reveal a joining of godliness with the world, the Creator in the creation. In every aspect, al yegili panimis Torah, by means of the revealing of the inner Torah. Kavishin is God, like it was revealed in Torah Chassidut, right? That's what the Baal Shem Tov began. But the first Rebbe of Chabad, who was like 2 generations after the Baal Shem Tov, he saw the Baal Shem Tov, but only when he was very young, was to bring this into day-to-day life. Now, I said this is joining the concealed aspect of God, the secrets of God with the secrets of the Jewish people, the inner soul of the Jewish people, is joined by what? By the secrets of the Torah. And this also gives the power to transform the physical world, that it should be a vessel to reveal godliness, and that also the hidden part of godliness should be revealed in the world, like it was in the Holy Temple, right? You went in the Holy Temple, it was a building, and you felt there that you were being created. You felt there that your whole life is just an amazing miracle. It always was and always will be. The whole world is a big miracle. And you felt the Creator, God. Will be Malchut, especially by means of the revelation of the Torah Chassidut Chabad, that it brought godliness in a clothing, in understanding, and wisdom. Brought all sorts of examples and all sorts of metaphors so that we can understand a little bit, right, that this world and the spiritual worlds are not all there is. Right? To understand the Creator of the physical and the spiritual, to understand the Creator in our understanding and even in our realization, in a way that we can actually, that we can actually be nourished by this knowledge of God. Sheyuvan, that could be understood also in human understanding. The ad gam b'seichel, even not just human understanding, but even the natural understanding. Like it says, Charana, that even the animal soul, the natural traits that we have, should be permeated with the feeling of, what does God want me to do with it? Right? What does God want me to do with my anger, with my desires, with my right? Maybe I should just, completely abstain from all desires, not get married, not eat, sit on a mountain, right? The less that I do, better. Maybe, yeah, maybe you're right. But the fact is, you're not right. That's not what God wants. When you reveal God in the creation, then you know what to do with your various drives and talents and etc. That's the reason that Yaakov went down into this terrible low place, Haran, where there everything was just, wanton, whatever they call it, just completely free. Nobody knew what to do. Just you did whatever you want, right? Could be you changed your mind every day, but you did whatever made you feel good. And he came down to say, no, why didn't you do what makes the Creator feel good? And then not only will God be revealed in your natural animal soul, but even in the intellect of the non-Jews, that's Esav, like it's known, like the Moshiach told to the Baal Shem Tov that your deepest ideas, your deepest perceptions of godliness and the world should be spread outward. Chutza. Mayan means the well springs. Shemayanot Hasidut, that the well springs of the teachings of Hasidut, the Torah is called water, and the source of that water is the wellspring. So that's the ideas of Hasidut, that these inner well springs of ideas of the Baal Shem Tov themselves should be spread out in such a way that it goes outward. Ad the chutza in a way that it's outward, that there's no more outward than it, and there's, in other words, reaches the furthest types of humanity. Shagam teva olam, and not only just humanity, but also the physical world will become a vessel to be unified with godliness, which sounds a little bit sort of, fantastic. But if you think about it, it's not fantastic at all, because even more fantastic is the idea that God is creating the whole business all the time. He's creating the whole world all the time. That's more fantastic than anything. The fact that it becomes revealed, it's true, it just reveals a thing that's just really just totally incomprehensible. But and in fact, the revealing of such a thing is also a big novelty, because it's concealed that God is creating everything. Nobody feels that. But the fact that God is in fact creating everything, that's the real amazing miracle. And that's the idea, and it all depends on our perception, on our understanding. Like I brought this up already 50 times, but I'll just bring it up again. Like Daniel in the lion's den, it explains in the Tanya in the end of chapter 24, that all these lions became quiet and they became docile, as though they just finished eating big meals or something, only because of Daniel's thoughts. Daniel was just thinking about and was aware all the time of the Creator, and he was aware and of the fact that all these animals are miracles. They're being created by God. The whole world is a miracle. And so is he a miracle. So everything, and the animals enjoyed his thoughts more than they would have enjoyed his leg or his arm or something. In other words, they enjoyed the fact that someone was there that finally appreciated them, that they're creations of God. God is personally creating them. And Daniel really felt this and really understood this. And so because of his thoughts, it revealed godliness everywhere. We can say, and therefore the main revelation of the Torah of Chassidut is in this month of Kislev that we're in now. And like it's known, the Kislev, the month of Kislev, this month, this is the third month of the months of the winter months. In Israel, we go winter and summer is according to Israel. The winter months in Israel, that's the months of rain. That's when there's rain in the month of this. It's colder. It's colder in these months. I mean, that's the way it sort of is everywhere. But in these months, according to how they were in Israel, so it starts off from Nisan, from Passover on, as things start to get colder, the nights get longer, the days are shorter. That's called the winter months. The third of the winter months is, what did I say? From Pesach, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Not from Passover on, I'm sorry. Not from Passover on. From Sukkot on. From Sukkot on, things start getting darker. Right? Things get darker. The third month from Nisan, when God took us out of Egypt, that's the summer months. Then things start getting warmer. But we're talking about that's when God gave the revealed Torah. on Mount Sinai, the third month from Nisan, from leaving Egypt. But this is the third month from Kislev, when God created the world. And now things are getting darker. That's the month of Kislev, the third month. That also the Torah was given the third month. The third month after they got out of Egypt was revealed Torah. And the third month after the world was created, so to speak, the world was created, that's Kislev. In Sivan, the revealed Torah was given. In Kislev, the concealed Torah was given. That's when the first Rebbe of Chabad got out of prison. That's when he really started to spread out the ideas of Hasidut. If you do it like it's not, the Kislev is the third month of the winter months. This corresponds to the month of Sivan, which is the third month of the summer months. Shashlishi Kashur, the number 3 is already attached to giving of the Torah. It's the third month. Sivan is the third month when the 3-part Torah was given to the 3-part nation. It was the Torah, Nevi'im and Ketuvim, was given to the Kohanim and the Leviim and the Yisraelim. And the third month was given to Moses, who was the third to be born. There was Aaron and Miriam and Moshe. Hu Zman Shel Matan Torah. This is the time of the giving of Torah, the revealed Torah. And that's 3 months after the Jews got out of Egypt. It's third summer month. And the month of Kislev, which is 3 months after the creation of the world, that's the month of Kislev, the winter months. Hu Hazman Shel Gilui Pnimis Torah. This is the time when the inside of the Torah is revealed. So the external Torah was revealed the third summer month, and the inside of the Torah that was revealed in the third winter month. And this winter month, this third month, Kislev, Yeshna, there are many special days in Hasidut. There's Yutet Kislev. That's the holiday when the first Rebbe of Chabad got out of prison. He's the founder of Hasidut Chabad. And the fact that it's also the day of the passing away of the Magid of Mezrich, the successor of the Baal Shem Tov, was called the Magid of Mezrich, Rabbi Dvar. He was the teacher of the first Rebbe of Chabad. And that's Yutet Kislev. That's the day he passed away. Yutet Kislev was also the day that the first Rebbe of Chabad got out of prison years later. This is the first Yutet Kislev. This is what's called the New Year's Day of Hasidut. Like it's known that then, after the Rebbe got out of prison in Peterburg, he was put there by the Tsar. He was put there by his enemies, really, religious Jews. That's when really it started spreading out Hasidut outward. That's one holiday, Yutet Kislev. Then, years later, I think, 18 years later, was Tet Kislev. Was Yud Kislev. We'll see in a moment. Tet Kislev. That's Tet Kislev. This is the day of the birthday, and also the same date, I think 54 years later, of the second Rebbe of Chabad, the day he was born, and 54 years later, the same date he passed away, of the second Rebbe of Chabad, Admor Emtzai, who incidentally was also called on the name of the Magid of Mezrich. He was called on his name, Dovber. Then there's also Yud Kislev. That's the day when the second Rebbe of Chabad got out of prison. Geula Shalom. He got out of prison about 1 year before he passed away. Got out of prison. He was also put there by the Tsar. Also, Kislev is the holiday of Chanukah. Chanukah, it goes, the last days of this month are Chanukah. Goes into the next month also. Its connection with Chanukah is revealing the inner Torah outwards. Why? Because the whole miracle of Chanukah was with oil. And oil is a metaphor for the secrets of the Torah. That's the secrets of the Torah. This is the wine of the Torah, that's the secrets. And oil of the Torah, that represents the secrets of the Torah. That's Hasidut. And you also have to light, there is a commandment that you light the candles outside. They should shine outward. In such a way that it reveals the secrets of the secrets, oil. They should shine outward, not just like Hasidut. The explanation of this is, what's the connection of Kislev with the revealed of the inside of the Torah? The difference between the month of Kislev, which is the third month of the winter, and Sivan, which is the third month of the summer, is that in this third winter month, these are days of rain in Israel. They're darker days, they're days of rain. But also rain is connected with our service of God and of the Moshiach. Rain. Right? What do we say? And the 3 months after the Jews got out of Egypt, God gave them the revealed Torah on Mount Sinai. All of this was done by God. God took the Jews out of Egypt. God provided them the whole time. And God gave them his Torah. God gave them the Torah. That's the days of the summer. Summer is also warm. It's a gift from God. We see godliness, free heating, which is not the case the days of the winter. That's when Chassidut was given. It begins with Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is we have to work. Man was created to serve God, work. We go to synagogue, we sound the shofar. After that is Yom Kippur, we have to fast. After that is Sukkot, we have to rejoice. We do all the work. We have to warm ourselves up. That's when Chassidut came in, and it's also the days of rainy days. In Israel it is. In these days we say Meshiv Ruach Amori Geshem. We say God return the wind, that the wind should blow and that the rain should come down. Rain. These are the rain months, and all the rest of the world. I don't think there is such a place like that. Is there? I don't know. I'm not that big of an expert. But in Israel, it never rains in the summer. Never rains in the summer. Maybe rarely, I don't know. But it doesn't rain in the summer. And it only rains in the winter months. That's the only time it ever rains, is in the winter. These are the winter months. That's when Chassidut was given. That's for our work. We have to work from below. Shegeshamim, that rain, this relates to our service from below. Why? The rain comes from heaven, doesn't it? It's not so. Rain definitely does not come from heaven. That's why it doesn't rain in the desert. Why doesn't it rain in deserts? It should rain everywhere. Huh? Because rain only comes where there is, what do they call it? Evaporation. There has to be evaporation first. Like it says, Kiloim tir Hashem Elokim ala oretz. It says that God did not make any rain. Adam ein lavodat adama, because there was no people to work on the ground. Rashi brings down that as soon as there were man, God created man. As soon as man existed, then there was someone to work on the ground, and he could pray for rain. Then there started to be, how do you say, evaporation. There was already water in the world, right? Evaporation. Then it says ve'ed yalei min ha'oretz. Then the evaporation came from the earth. V'ishka'et kol pnei adama, and it watered the whole face of the world. Which is not the case. The months of the summer, that they come after the months of the rain, the rainy months. This is not so much the main emphasis is on rain, but on dew. On dew, it says that it comes down automatically. Dew comes automatically. It's not rain, it depends on our work. And specifically in this idea of the rain, which that's in the winter months where we have to do the work, that comes by means of our service, that we have to work. And the rain, there's evaporation from below, and then there comes down geshamim, rain. Now, interesting enough, the word for rain is almost the same word as physicality. Geshem. Geshem means to be physical. Gashmiut olam, the physicality of the world. This is stressed at shleimus achibur shel mayla lamata. The idea of rain is, it's a big miracle, and it comes because of our work down here that causes there to be evaporation, or more simply, our service goes up and God comes down. There's a whole tractate of Mishnah called Tainit, fasts, and it's mainly that we pray for rain, and that according to how we pray for the rain, that's how rain comes down. And if the rain doesn't come down, so we pray more. In other words, it goes from below to above. That's these winter months. That's when Chassidut was given, to show us how to serve God from below to above, to really come to love God, fear God. We learned that in the morning. Remember, from the earth it comes up, from below to above, an aid, a mist, a what do you call it, an evaporation. Yesodak, something very, very fine. Davar hamor, this indicates shezek kashur be'erich legidria tachton, something that comes from the earth. Vishket kol pnei adama, and then comes rain, and it waters the whole world from above to below. Hageshamim, rain, Yordim comes down from clouds, from above, but in such a way, v'hishka et kol pnei adama, it waters where the face of the world. It kol gashmiut, the physicality. Don't just say geshem. Geshem is the gashmiut. All the physical world is enlivened by this rain. Et penimiut shall eretz geshem, namely the inside of the physical world, namely the life in the physical world, is brought by the rain that comes down. That gives life. Where does this rain come from? It comes because of our efforts from below. Who would think so? Because of our prayers, our desire that we want the earth to be fertile. Because the nature of anything liquid is that the Metzius asher hu nogeabo, that everything that a liquid touches becomes also filled with water totally. So therefore, the physical world becomes filled with this result of our service of God, rain. The rain comes from heaven. The earth becomes filled with this heavenly rain. And where did the heavenly rain come? It came from our service, from our work. That's the whole idea of the Torah. Like it says, Ein mayim elo Torah. There is no water elo Torah. Ein mayim elo Torah. It says, where do we get this idea from? We'll see in a couple of weeks. It says that, or in any case, that the brothers of Yosef threw him into a pit. It says there was no water in the pit. For the delay, the interruption. Okay. So what is the Rebbe trying to get over here? He's trying to get at the point that the whole world is enlivened by rain, and rain comes from our service from below. And even rain itself hints at that, because rain comes from the evaporation that comes from the earth, from below. And that begins this whole entire system. So the whole thing starts from below, and that arouses a spiritual power from above, which essentially is rain. Rain is a big miracle, and rain has in it the power of life. So it depends on us, on our service from below. That's the whole idea of what Chassidut is, that the Jewish people have this obligation to God, to serve God in a way that we feel God and we yearn for God and we want God to make the world a good place like it should be. When God is revealed in the world, like for instance, it was right before God gave the Torah at Mount Sinai. So it said all the blind, deaf, mute, crippled, they were all healed. It says that's where Moses got healed. He was at a stutter. That's where he got healed. Everyone, when God is revealed, then all the good in the world is revealed, namely health. All is revealed. We talked about that before. But it all depends on us doing to reveal God. On Mount Sinai, as God did it on his own, so to speak, even though that it was after hundreds of years of service, of suffering of the Jews in Egypt. But nevertheless, Mount Sinai did it on his own. But coming of the Mashiach is going to depend on us. And that's what the idea of Chassidut is, to teach us how to yearn for God, how to appreciate God, how to love God, and how to serve God with happiness. So that's the whole novelty of what the Torah really is. It says there's no water. When it says that, when it talks about water, is referring to Torah. Torah is referring to water. The true idea of what water is the Torah. Especially revelation of Torah of Chassidut in this month, the third month of the winter Kislev. that human intelligence, human perception, and the physical world should be permeated with godliness. Just like the world is filled with water when there's rain. Yamei Adas Torah. Like it says, Da Elokei Avicha, you have to know God, connect to God, feel that God is real. Until the way that Kula Mashke, until the whole world becomes inundated, the whole physical world becomes filled, permeated, and how do you say, filled up totally with godliness. Like the Maimonides brings, it's a sentence from Isaiah. The whole world will be filled with the knowledge of God like water fills the ocean. Let's see what this is. Isaiah 12:9. Look over there. And this is the end of the Maimonides, by the way. Maimonides brings up that that's the main thing what's going to happen in Moshiach. Right. Kafi, like it will be in the future redemption, Gula Mitit Veshlema, which will come by means of our spreading out these ideas of Chassidut, so that people will be able to appreciate God and to yearn for God. The Yesh Lo Sif, we can also add on that this is also hinted at in the word Kislev this month. Kislev is, Kos means to cover. We'll see that the Kos means to cover, and Lamed Vav is revelation. Eile says to be revealed, the Gematria Eile. Shahadargos Belakusta, the levels of godliness which were covered, they're covered over on their own. Case means covered, because this is the secret aspects of God that God doesn't want to reveal, but they will be revealed. And the level to low, low is Lamed Vav 36. We said Eile is these, which indicates on a complete revelation. They'll be revealed also in our emotions. There's 6 emotions, and each one contains 6 facets. 6 times 6 is 36. That's the Gematria Lamed Vav. Shlemus Agilui, there'll be complete revelation of God, of reality, of health, spiritual health, in the emotions. Individual will feel the true value of what a human being really is, true value of what life is, will appreciate the miracle that God is giving us of free choice. Miracle. And that will make us excited, which is the emotions. 6 emotions will be filled with 6. 6 times 6, that's 36. This revelation of Chassidut and Kislev itself was mainly by means of the revelation of Chassidut, which was done by the second Rebbe of Chabad, that he was born in this month, he passed away in this month, 54 years later, and he was released from prison on this month. And this, God willing, we're going to talk about more tomorrow. You think we'll finish it? We'll try. Have a good day with Moshiach now. Thank you very much for listening, and God willing, by the time we get to tomorrow, the Beit HaMikdash will have already come from heaven, and all the Jews will start packing up all over the world to come to the Holy Land.